As we look at our group of students, they each have a wide range of exceptionalities that impact their learning abilities. As such, it is important we make sure we create a cohesive lesson in order to help mitigate the obstacles they face and allow them to reach success. Our lesson will be for a science class where the students begin to learn about different animal classifications. We are going to use our universal design for learning as our model for the lesson. Using UDL, we are going to make sure we meet students' needs for engagement, representation, and action and expression. We are going to be focusing on using multimodal content in order to help engage our students through visual and auditory means. As within our group, some of our students struggle greatly with reading. Our lesson planning should begin with our objective, or what our desired outcome for our lesson should be. That being, identifying the different types of animals to determine what animal group they belong to. For example, after explaining the objective to our students, our first step is to engage their background knowledge. This incorporates to the representation ideas presented within UDL. We will do this through a game called Animal, Mineral, or Vegetable. We will assign each category a color and give students a note card that corresponds to that color. We will show them an image, and they will hold up the note card that matches the color and the image. As we see, we have a rock here. They would hold up a mineral. We have a kangaroo here. They would hold up mammal. We have broccoli and a carrot, and for both of those would be vegetables. Then we have another rock, which would be mineral again, and a monkey, which would be an animal. And then we have a final round, which would be the rock. And he, despite the name, is a mammal. So, after that, we would do a quick check-in to make sure, see how our students are feeling. Thumbs up if we had fun, thumbs down if we didn't, thumbs to the side if it was just all right. The reason we're doing this is because multiple check-ins will allow us to engage how our students are feeling and kind of allow us to adjust our lesson on the fly if we need to. So, after that, we would have a bit of a guided note section. This would be kind of scaffolded in a way to allow our students who struggle with reading to have an easier time following along with the lesson. And again, this can be modified so that our students who don't struggle with reading have a bit of a tougher, harder lesson. We want to make sure we're increasing the rigor for those students while also making sure that our students with exceptionalities are able to follow along and still engage with the lesson. So, the 5 key categories we'd be covering are mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fish. Now, after we go over and through our guided notes section, we'd have a classroom safari. We would have stations set up around. They would visit the stations and write down the animals they see. We would allow our students to choose the order in which they visit the stations, with the caveat being you just have to visit all of them. Again, this is something that we can adjust on the fly so that if our students with exceptionalities are beginning to feel overwhelmed, we can reduce the number they need to visit. Oh, instead of visiting all 5, you just need to visit 3. Or we could even go to the extra step and just print out a copy of the safari station and bring it to them. This would be an example. Here, the students would see a pig, a horse, a cow, a chicken. They would write mammal for the pig, mammal for the horse, mammal for the cow, bird for the chicken. Again, this is just an example picture. The goal would be, again, to just make sure that students are able to identify, oh, the pig has hair, so it's a mammal. Oh, live birth, it has little baby, so it's a mammal. Oh, the chicken has feathers, but it also has live birth. But we know chickens lay eggs. We know that from our background information. In an online setting, we could also watch videos. We could say, hey, let's take a video and look at a video of a farm. Let's copy down the animals we see on a farm. Let's copy down the animals we see in a swamp. This would allow us to engage with our students online and, again, reincorporate that multimodal to where we're now having our students watch a video. They don't just get to see it, they also get to hear it. Furthermore, we could also use Google Slides or Microsoft PowerPoints as a way to help guide the lesson. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. And depending on the software we're using, we can post the PowerPoint online to where, hey guys, you know, it was a snow day. We understand everybody's got some issues with internet here and there. If you get a chance, check out our Schoology page, take a look at the lesson with your mom or dad. This way, they're able to stay on task, or if they just don't really understand it, they can go back and check out the lesson after we've taught it. Cards on the table. I work in a high school setting, so I might be expecting a little much of elementary school students. But my motto is kids surprise you all the time. So maybe they'll surprise you and actually take a peek at the lesson if they miss that day of school. After our safari, though, we would have another animal category game. We are building on what we did at the start. We're kind of scaffolding our lesson to make sure our students are able to visually kind of identify the animals. This time would be a little different, though. Instead of just 3 categories, we'd have 5. We'd have our fish, our mammals, our reptiles, our birds, and our amphibians. And again, they would each get that colored card so that they can kind of participate without having to worry about reading, oh, it's a frog, pink. It's a bird, it's yellow. And again, we have a fish. This time, however, we do modify it a little bit. We ask, how do we know it's a fish? We know it's a fish because it was in the water. It had gills. Oh, it's a capybara. It's a mammal. How do we know it's a mammal? It had little babies. It was covered in fur. It's a reptile. It's a bird. It's an amphibian. We're, again, checking for understanding. Make sure we can identify those aspects that lets us visually understand why this animal is in that classification. And again, here's the rock. Bonus round. He may be bald, but he does have hair. He's a mammal, I promise. So, our final assignment for the day would be my farm assignment. Again, we're giving students a choice. We're letting them pick 3 animals. Here comes the expression. We're asking them to draw us a picture. Why are we asking them to draw us a picture? Because it's science class. It's not reading class. It's not writing class. It's science class. We want to get a little fun with it. So we're going to ask them to draw us a picture. Then they're going to tell me what category they're in and explain why. And again, we do have students who struggle with reading. I'm making the assumption they might also struggle with writing. So I've also provided a sentence starter. This animal is a blank because. This animal is a mammal because it's a mammal. It has hair. It gives birth to live babies. And again, we want to be building on what we've already covered in the lesson. We're using our scaffolding there. But we also want to give students a chance to express themselves. Maybe they'll draw their dog from home or their cat or their fish they own. I had a snake in elementary school. Maybe we'll have a student draw a snake. But we want to empower them through UDL to keep them engaged, to keep them kind of in the lesson. And again, this is something we can quickly modify for our students who are struggling. If a student feels overwhelmed, maybe instead of 3 animals, they just have to draw us 1. Maybe if they struggle with writing, they don't have to give me why, just tell me what category they're in. It's something we can change on the fly. These are my references. I didn't know how to put this. I'm going to upload this, like you said. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.